I think the broadness, the rubric of communication is, it could be anything. You could put everything underneath communication or nothing. So, I mean, rhetoric could go under communication. You know, there's the whole writing, advertising, public relations. So with regard to media communication, it's, you know, do you want to go broad, you want to go big, or you want to focus? So I think that's more of this. We try to hit all the target areas, the social media, the media production. We're into research now, and you know, games and sims, and so the whole array of things that could possibly be considered convergent media. So it's up to the student to self-select.
Well, it's the second largest major in our college, and the pressure is that we have limited facilities and limited equipment, but that also has a good side, is because it's teaching students, you know, how to be very, very creative and how to work on a small budget without a lot of equipment, because, you know, some people might be going to large facilities that have lots of equipment and money, and then there's a lot of TV stations, radio stations, ad agencies around the country that don't have a lot of money or facilities or equipment, so it has a good side and a bad.
When I started here about 4 years ago, I was teaching people how to get onto Twitter. There were very few students that even had a Twitter account. So now, you know, I have to change my courses in order, because that would be silly and boring, and no one wants to hear, you know, how to get an account on Twitter anymore. So what we're trying to do now is to, you know, to refocus with the. It's very difficult to keep up with technology. So you keep it broad, you keep it with the theories. You know, what is it aligned to? You know, theoretical. What are some of the concepts for good social media? You know, good visual aspects and text, regardless of what medium you might be on. So I think when you come up with the, you know, the foundation and the core, and then you translate that to theory and then apply application, I think regardless of, you know, what they come up with next, you know, Vines, Pinterest, you know, whatever the next big wave will be, I think we'll be in fine shape.
I think it's excellent. The more experience that you can have as an undergraduate student, the more that's going to assist you in the profession once you leave. I know that it may not be called Twitter when you graduate, but you still have those applications and using those different social media.
We'll probably be developing what's called a strategic communications program that will involve public relations, marketing, and that kind of stuff. A lot of things that tie in with what business and industry are doing right now.
Next big step. Well, we're making quite a few strides. I know with the Lions TV, that's something that we'd like to see. I think just more types of classes that we're offering. I know students are interested in sports communication, so in developing that area as well. For those outside interests, I think it would be a huge benefit, and I think the radio station moving in that direction will assist those students with that creative side.
I would hope to see equipment and room space for our. I don't think it's fair, to be honest. I don't think it's fair that we have nearly 80 majors and we're, you know, schlepping around equipment, or we only have one camera, or that type of thing. I mean, when I was in college, yes, students as undergraduates did get the they didn't get the high quality equipment, but they had access to equipment and software, etc. So that would be my expectation for our university. In addition to that, you know, things like the online radio station. We already have an online newspaper. So I think we should evolve into more of a systemic, if you're familiar with Peter Senge, more of a systemic approach, to the holistic approach to communication, and maybe even have a student advisory council or something like that. And those are all things that we're in the process of talking about.